Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, talking about our Week 13 loss against the Arizona Cardinals. The good old Bears. But honestly, I was kind of impressed by the Bears today, despite how the game went. So obviously, you have to start off talking about the weather. The weather affected both teams, not great conditions, and I think you ended up seeing both offenses kind of have a similar game plan, which is to control the ball and limit the risk by running, utilizing short plays, screens, jets, all that different type of stuff. That's more of an extension of the run so that you're not taking shots downfield and all that. The difference is, obviously, one team had 4 turnovers and the other one didn't. And that discussion is a tale as old as time. If you lose a turnover battle, it's kind of hard to win the game. Now, even with that being said, I was still kind of impressed. I know people are ready to rip Andy Dalton, even though Fields has looked as bad many times, but people are going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Whereas I think, I know for sure 2 of those turnover interceptions, at least, wasn't his fault. And then 2 were. The first one was thrown way behind, and it tipped off Grant, and it got picked. That's obviously on Dalton for the ball placement. The one Komet drops and then throws up into the air. That's not really anything Dalton could do about that. The screen, although a great play by the defense, that's still on Dalton. And then the last one was tipped by Chandler Jones. Again, not a whole lot that Andy Dalton could do about that. And so the offense was interesting. I mean, obviously, we're trying to fight back throughout the whole time. And the story was Dave Montgomery. I mean, we know what type of praise we gave him up until this point, but to really just sit back and see how he carried the offense that whole entire, first half, really the first 3 quarters, was just absolutely crazy. And Allen Robinson was out and everything. And I'm not one of those people that say we don't have receiving weapons. But if you just think about if you had a player like that complemented by the rest of the offense, where it was all together, it'd just be kind of crazy to think about the things you could do. I wouldn't say exactly Kamara, but, there's some of these other top running backs that really get down with the receiving or make people pay on the receiving end and can run the ball. And mainly that's the Cardinals forcing us to take everything deep. I mean, you had, I think it was the first half, Montgomery had 7 catches already. So either way, they are just giving him the ball because they're letting that flat open, and so Dalton was taking it, and Dave Montgomery was making them pay. There was some times where I felt like he was just kind of forcing it to him because, he didn't have somewhere else to go, but most of the time that's just what the defense was giving us. And so Dalton was patient enough to get Montgomery the ball and let him be a playmaker. And so that was impressive. And I've talked about the O-line a few times, and I wouldn't say like the Cardinals are world beaters against the run, but they continue to impress me in the run game. Whether it's Montgomery or Khalil Herbert and their ability, or it's just the holes that they're opening up sometimes, is very impressive. So obviously this is still not a unit that you can go out there and win with because the pass protection still isn't where you want it, and then Peters is just very old. But I do believe healthy Jenkins could come in at the left tackle and give us almost as much as Peters. Obviously, he's not as savvy a veteran, but I think he can learn and grow into that. And then, Bourne's been pretty solid too. This is a strong line. It's not exactly a line with extremely great feet as we see in pass protection, but they've been impressing me on that end. And then the defense, they do what they usually do. The defense has the same type of holes that we talked about for years. And it's really tough against an offense like this. I mean, especially with a slick field. The reason you can't flow to James Conner, and because they do a lot of zone, and typically we're pretty good with that. The reason you can't just hard flow and take care of that is because there's a very real chance that Kyler Murray's going to pull the ball, or that Rondale Moore is going to get it, or what have you. And so there's so many threats, and they spread the field so much that the backside pursuit can't really come down as much as you want to. And overall, it's just a lot of playmakers on that offense that you got to account for. So, you have some issues there. And again, the short fields, whether that's the defense having their motivation deflated or just being tired or whatever, it makes it tough for the defense. But I think they stood up a few times when they had to. And especially, Hopkins is back, but it's his first game back, and so is Murray. So I don't know. I don't know in a regular game, with regular weather, how they would have looked. They might be still kind of getting their groove back. But either way, you got Hopkins and those weapons out there, and I think the defense, they show, a pretty good effort. But at the end of the day, I think it's the same players that we look at as the ones that will come down the stretch in the future as our stars, and those are the ones we've been talking about for a while, whether it be Dave Montgomery, whether it be a Roquan Smith, and players like that. And I think Kmet is starting to get there. I don't know if he'll be a star, but he'll definitely be a starter for us. And so he does not have yak ability. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I said that at one point. I don't know how long ago it was, but I said it, and I can't unsee it. That man does not have yak ability at all. He got tackled in the open field by a corner, and anyway. But I didn't learn much new, but I was impressed by effort, and that's what it is. That's the thing, not every game is going to have great weather. Not every game you're going to be in front. Not every game you're going to be coming from behind. Not every game is your game plan going to work. And that's the sign of really good teams are the ones that can win in different ways. And obviously we didn't win this game, but I do like the effort that we showed. And it was in our advantage to be at home and to have bad weather. But at the same time, we played to it and we used it to our advantage. At the same time, we lost, but I think we gave a good effort. So there's that. I do think there's times in the past, I won't even say times, specifically with Trustman, where that would have turned into a very ugly blowout. But people gave effort, and that's what we like to see. But, we're going towards the end of that season, man, and we're going to wait and see what happens then. So, I've talked about the future. I've talked about the future every single week. I don't know that I have any different feelings, but I think I'm going to wrap it up there. But I will say, stop playing with Jimmy Graham. Y'all going to stop playing with him. I need the fan, not when you say y'all the better Bears fans, but I'm going to need all our fans to start recognizing that y'all just be saying stuff sometimes, and we need to hold people up to that, because Nagy, I don't like Nagy, and I want Nagy fired. So anything he do, I'm going to criticize and make it seem like it's dumb. And I just can't get it out of my head when people shout, whoa, it must have been Nagy's call to throw to Jimmy Graham twice in the end zone. Wow, that's so stupid. He's 30-some years old. What an idiot. Jimmy Graham gets down in the end zone. That's not a dumb thing. And so I forgot what game that was, and it just bothered me ever since. And then, of course, when it works, ain't nobody got anything to say. It's just like, look, we get it. Just because y'all don't like somebody or y'all want something to happen, does not mean y'all need to switch the narrative up of every single thing that happened. Give people credit when credit is due. It's the same thing I've been talking about with this whole idea of, like, even the media is doing it, the game cast. Like, when Lazard first started and things was going well, you can see the difference in the offense. They switched the play calling, and the play calling is different. That's why it's going like this. And as soon as things go bad again, well, Nagy called this, or Nagy's offense. And I'm just like, that's crazy to me. But anyway, that's it for me. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And remember, stay up and bear down.